video is about answering questions at the PIP assessment stage concerning preparing food. It's important to know that claimants with both physical and mental impairments can score points on this question, so everybody should be thinking very carefully about whether or not they struggle to prepare a simple meal. I'm using two resources to help advise you today. Firstly, I am using the official assessment criteria. This is the handbook that DWP assessors use to help them make their decisions. Secondly, I am using my extensive experience in helping claimants make successful claims for PIP. Let's begin by understanding the DWP's definition of preparing a simple meal, because it might be wildly different from what you think. A simple meal in the world of the DWP goes roughly as follows. You need to be able to peel, chop and boil fresh vegetables, open a tin and cook a small piece of meat or fish. So it's going to be helpful to think about how you would struggle to cook those things when it comes to scoring points at the DWP assessment. Here are the descriptors that the assessors use when deciding how many points to award you. Let's look more closely at each element of these descriptors. Part A means you can prepare and cook a simple meal unaided. For that you get 0 points, so let's move swiftly on. Part B means you need to use an aid or an appliance to be able to either prepare or cook a simple meal. Now for this element, you can score 2 points, so let's look at it more closely. Perhaps you should consider your answers to the following questions. Do you need to use a perch to sit on whilst cooking because you have a bad back, or you're shaky on your legs, or there's pain and discomfort when standing? You might score 2 points. Do you need to use aids and gadgets to help you open packets, bottles and tins because you have poor dexterity and grip? You might score 2 points. Think carefully about every aid or gadget that you use to help you cook a meal. Let's look at descriptor C. Cannot cook a simple meal using a conventional cooker, but is able to do so using a microwave. 2 points. Consider your answer to these questions. Does your health condition make it unsafe to use sharp knives? Can you safely lift up a heavy pan with hot water? Can you pour liquids without spilling? Is it safe for you to be around a cooker? Can you only reasonably make a TV dinner in the microwave? Anybody with shaky hands, poor dexterity, poor grip, bad back, shaky on your legs, pain and discomfort, and lots of others might score 2 points on this question. Does depression, cognitive impairment, or fatigue cause you to lack motivation to cook meals properly? Do you rush your cooking so that food such as chicken is not cooked through properly? Are you easily distracted when preparing food so that scalds and burns are more likely? You can score 2 points. And if your mental health issues are so severe that you need prompting, supervision or assistance, you may score more points. Needing help from another person is dealt with at descriptors D and E. These descriptors are also relevant to those with physical disabilities. You need help from another person if you cannot prepare or cook a simple meal reliably. That means safely, at a reasonable speed, to an acceptable standard, and as often as required. Think about the risks of a fire or the potential to burn or scald yourself. Does your disability mean that it would take you twice as long to cook a meal as an able-bodied person? Are you so fatigued after preparing one meal that you cannot cook again for the rest of the day? If your physical or mental disabilities are so severe that you cannot cook a meal alone or cannot cook a meal at all, you might score 4 or even 8 points. Overall then, make sure you tell the DWP assessor all the difficulties you have preparing food and cooking a meal. I do hope that your claim for personal independence payment is successful.